In this video, I will be tackling some of the things that Bill Maher said about Christians on his late night TV show. He berated Christians and talked about Christians being people who embrace foolishness like the book of Revelation. Now, I need to be clear before we get into what Bill Maher says about Christians in the book of Revelation, that I am by no means endorsing any political ideology or denouncing any political ideology. I'm analyzing what he said about Christians with regards to the book of Revelation. Let's give him a listen.
The events of January 6th were a faith-based initiative, and Trumpism is a Christian nationalist movement that believes Trump was literally sent from heaven to save them. It's right there in Senator Tommy Tuberville's campaign ad.
God sent us Donald Trump because God knew we were in trouble.
And of course, it is a mass delusion. But the inconvenient truth here is that if you accord religious faith the kind of exalted respect we do here in America, you've already lost the argument that mass delusion is bad. But have you ever read the book of Revelations? Yeah, that's the Bible. That's your holy book, Christians. And they've got seven-headed dragons and locusts that have the face of men and the teeth of lions and other stuff you only see after the guy in the park sells you bad mushrooms. The book of Revelations will tell you exactly where the world ends. Megiddo, Israel. I've been there. Yeah, that's where all of the armies of the world will gather, and Jesus will come down on a flying horse, shooting swords out of his mouth. Jesus, not the horse. And have a 1,000-year cosmic boss battle with Satan, the Beast, and the Antichrist. It's like 10 Avenger movies plus 10 Hobbit movies times a night out with Johnny Depp.
Now, someone who is trying to be academically honest would never say the things that Bill Maher said about the book of Revelation. If he had studied the book of Revelation and studied biblical interpretation, he would never say the things that he has said there about Christians. The book of Revelation is actually apocalyptic genre. It's a way of writing that we know nothing about in our age, in the world that we're living in now. It was a type of writing that they used during Second Temple Judaism, during the time of the Maccabees, to really about 200 or 300 AD. And we find Christian apocalyptic literature, we find Jewish apocalyptic literature. The main thing we want to know about the book of Revelation is that the author John was writing in symbolic ways. He is using imagery that is difficult to interpret. It's often described as he's writing in code in which only the original audience would fully understand. Some other things I want to say about apocalyptic literature in the book of Revelation is that it often focuses upon the end times, the end of the world. The next thing is apocalyptic literature often focuses upon God's judgment upon sin. Apocalyptic literature as well focuses on this battle between good and evil, and we see that in the book of Revelation, the battle between Satan and God and the enemies of God against the people of God. Is that it's usually written to an audience that is experiencing suffering or persecution, much like the book of Revelation was written to. If Bill Maher had understood apocalyptic literature, he never would have said the crazy things that he's just said about Christians. Academically honest people don't make ad hominem attacks like he just made. Basically, kind of just making Revelation to be this literal book where all these things would literally happen, and therefore, because Christians think literally these things are going to happen, therefore they're crazy. That's not an academically honest thing to say. And let's just be honest, this guy's just out to trash Christians. Thanks for watching, and God bless.